Have you ever walked into your home and just felt like something was off? Like it's almost perfect, but somehow still too much or not quite enough? Well, that feeling might actually be what they call in Sweden Lagom. And once you understand it, you'll see why it makes every room feel calm, grounded, and complete. So in this video, you're gonna learn what Lagom design really means. So how it uses color, light, materials, and space to create homes that feel just right. You'll see how balance shows up in every detail, and by the end of the video, you'll discover the one principle that quietly holds the entire look together, the thing that makes a balanced home actually stay that way. So Lagom is a Swedish word that means just the right amount. In interior design, it's about finding that sweet spot where your space feels complete without feeling crowded, and minimal without feeling bare. It's not about chasing trends or filling every corner of your space, but it's about balance, the right amount of furniture, the right amount of color, and the right amount of light. And every choice in Lagom design is intentional and nothing feels forced. So you can think of it as the art of enough, where your home works for you, looks good, and feels calm all at the same time. So this setup here shows off one of Lagom design's biggest strengths, and that's restraint that still feels warm. That's because every element, from the wood tones to the soft lighting, has purpose, but nothing is fighting for your attention. And so instead of layering for decoration, it layers for comfort. And even the lighting supports the idea of balance here. It's soft enough to relax, but it's bright enough to live in. And so Lagom design always asks, is this enough? And here the answer is definitely yes. Now in this living room, Lagom design shows up through how comfort and clarity coexist. There's texture, but no clutter. And so the materials are organic, but they're not trying to look rustic or dramatic. And so the light wood, the neutral rug, and the greenery are all working toward one quiet goal, which is to make the room feel calm and functional without any excess. It's a reminder that balance doesn't come from symmetry or rules, but from intention. And this bedroom also reflects Lagom's sense of moderation. Tones are grounded and earthy, but the space doesn't feel heavy because everything's given room to breathe. And there's plenty of visual rhythm through the fabric, wood, and soft light, but no one element is dominating the space. And so that balance between simplicity and comfort is exactly what separates Lagom from minimalism. It's not about removing life from a room, it's about giving it just enough space to exist naturally. So now that you know what Lagom means, the next step is to look at its color story, because this style isn't built on bright accents or dramatic contrast. Instead, Lagom homes use a palette that feels steady and timeless. So soft whites, beige, oatmeal, light oak, and muted grays. These are the kinds of colors that don't demand your attention. Instead, they exist to make the space feel calm, grounded, and easy to live in. But it's not about being plain, it's about using color to quiet the room so texture, form, and warmth can take the lead. So in this kitchen, the color palette does most of the design work. The white cabinets, marble backsplash, and soft gray walls all fall within the same gentle tonal range, which creates a look that feels cohesive without feeling flat. Nothing stands out, yet everything still connects because the tones blend quietly, which gives the space that signature Lagom calm. And instead of adding contrast, the design relies on the subtle shifts in tone and texture to create that sense of depth. So it's simple but never plain. Exactly what just the right amount looks like in the form of color. And as you move into this bedroom corner, that same softness continues. The color palette is barely layered, beige, linen, and muted oak, but the light transforms them throughout the day. The morning sun warms the wood, while you can imagine that the evening light deepens those shadows. And nothing in the room is competing for your attention, it just exists to make the light itself feel calm. Because Lagom design understands that color only works when light is part of the palette. And this same approach extends into the dining space, right? The soft neutrals stay consistent, but the way the light interacts with the textures create a sense of quiet depth. The walls fade gently into the wooden shelves, the chairs catch that glow, and the woven pendant spreads a subtle amber tone across the table. And even these small vases on the shelves are chosen for how they catch that glow. But it's not about color coordination, it's about harmony. And Lagom design turns light into the finishing layer that ties the whole home together. Now, after color, Lagom design relies on what those colors live on, which are your materials. And when it comes to materials, the Lagom philosophy values honesty and longevity. So that means choosing wood, stone, and linen, not because they look good now, but because they age beautifully. Every surface is meant to be touched, used, and softened over time. And so instead of perfection, Lagom design celebrates the quiet marks of life, the patina on oak, the texture of lime wash, and the subtle cracks in stone. It's beauty that doesn't shout, it just deepens with use. And you can see that here in this calm bathroom setup. The floors are stone, kind of slightly irregular, but naturally matte and cool underfoot. And they anchor the space without needing a rug or any kind of pattern. The walls are lime plastered, which gives off this soft, powdery texture that catches light differently across the different times of day. And the tub isn't dressed up with color or trim, it's just smooth, pale stone that feels weighty and solid. And even the woven basket and linen chair tie this whole look together, and they show how Lagom design prefers tactility over decoration. And everything looks calm because every material breathes on its own. And that same material honesty runs right through the kitchen. The island is cut from natural marble with these soft veins, and it's paired with light oak cabinetry that keeps the space warm. And the flooring continues this story, with wide oak planks with a matte finish that lets the grains stay visible. And even the open shelves hold ceramic cups and wooden trays, which reinforces the theme of craftsmanship over gloss. Nothing here feels synthetic or over-designed, and each surface adds depth through its texture. And the closer you get, the more you see how layered the materials really are. The chairs are solid wood with hand-woven seats that add warmth and movement to an otherwise neutral space, and the marble meets the oak floor seamlessly. No harsh trim and no abrupt shift. Even the linen curtains at the side soften the whole palette, blurring the hard edges of stone and wood. And so it's a quiet mix, but it's deeply tactile. And that is one of Lagom's core strengths, materials that make a home feel calm, grounded, and real without needing to say a word. Now, Lagom design sits right between minimal and comfortable. It's the point where a home feels open, but not bare, tidy, but never lifeless. And so instead of chasing empty space, Lagom design balances it with warmth. It keeps what you need, adds what makes you feel at ease, and removes everything else. And so the result is a kind of minimalism that still feels human. So this bedroom looks simple at first, just a low bed, some clean lines, and a few framed pieces above it, but it also feels surprisingly warm. The wood headboard brings in that quiet coziness that makes the whole room feel grounded, while the bedding looks soft enough to sink into without feeling messy. The curtains, the pillow mix, and even the neutral palette all work together to make the space calm without feeling distant. So it's the kind of room that feels organized and effortless at the same time. Clean enough to reset your mind, but comfortable enough to actually fall asleep in. And that's what makes Lagom minimalism work. It keeps things smooth and clear, but never sterile. And if you look just a bit closer, you'll start to notice how empty space is used as part of that rhythm. The walls stay clear, the shelves hold only a few objects, and the sofa here curves softly to match the flow of the room. There's no visual noise, but it doesn't feel staged. A single plant, the patterned throw, a wooden bowl, all these small hints of life make the restraint feel natural instead of strict. And this is exactly what keeps Lagom from turning into minimalism's colder cousin. I mean, even the dining area here follows the same sort of balance. The shelves are functional, but they're not crowded. Everyday items like glasses, bottles, and a few ceramics stay within reach, while the rest stay tucked away. Plaster walls and wood tones bring warmth to all that openness, grounding it so it doesn't drift into emptiness. And that's the heart of Lagom design. A home that feels edited, but still lived in. Clean lines and clear space, softened by the signs of daily life. Now, as you might expect, in Lagom interiors, plants aren't used to create an indoor jungle, but they are placed intentionally to add life, freshness, and a subtle connection to nature. And the goal is to complement the room's balance, not overpower it. And so greenery is chosen for its shape, its scale, and its simplicity, and it's given space to breathe so it becomes part of the overall composition. And that's why a single tree can do so much in a neutral living room. It breaks the symmetry just enough, softens that light, and pulls your eye towards something organic. The leaves cast gentle shadows, the woven basket adds a hint of texture, and everything feels effortless but still intentional. Without that touch of green, the space would look a little too perfect, but with it, it just feels human. Now, in this second living room, nature shows up not just through materials, but also through contrast, right? The coffee table, which is made from a solid wood trunk, brings some natural warmth and weight to the space, but it's the greenery that ties it all together. The small vase of stems on the table keeps the palette feeling fresh, while the larger plant behind the sofa adds some quiet height and depth to the corner. And together, they balance the clean white furniture with a touch of imperfection, which reminds you that Lagom calm always leaves room for life. And then in spaces like this one, the plants blend almost seamlessly with the rest of the room. You don't even notice them right away, but they're what makes the warmth feel believable. The soft rug, the oak furniture, and the touches of greenery all move in the same direction, which is calm, open, and lived in. So it's not about creating a showpiece, it's about letting the room breathe just enough to feel alive. And when your light, colors, and greenery all feel balanced, what keeps them that way is your furniture. And in Lagom design, furniture pieces aren't chosen just because they look good, they're chosen because they work beautifully. Each piece serves a clear purpose, fits naturally into your space, and ages with quiet grace. So it's not about statement chairs or oversized tables, it's about furniture that earns its place over time. Take this bedside setup for example. The scale is compact, the storage is straightforward, and every part of it earns its keep. The drawers hold what you actually reach for, while the open shelf gives space for daily use. The rounded corners make it safe and soft to move around, and the lamp's woven shade gives off warm light without a glare. And even the mix of wood, ceramic, and linen feels purposeful. It's tactile enough to feel warm, but restrained enough to stay timeless. And everything is there because it's needed, not because it's decorative. And the exact same philosophy runs through this dining room. The lightweight cane chairs make the space feel open and airy, but they're also sturdy enough for real daily use. The table is solid, slim, and designed for people to gather around it, but it's also easy to clean. And even the pendant light sits low for warmth, but not so low that it obstructs sight lines. And so every piece here feels like it's been tested by everyday routines, and it quietly passed those tests. And this chair captures that idea perfectly, because there's nothing extra. No thick padding, no dramatic finish, but it's still ergonomic, balanced, and totally solid. The wood frame is angled for comfort, and the seat tension gives gentle support without any bulk. So it's a design that disappears into your day, but you would immediately notice its absence. And that's what makes Lagom furniture timeless, because it's built for living, not just for looking. So now you know how Lagom design turns simplicity into balance, and how every color, material, and design choice works together to make a home feel calm without ever feeling cold. And I've linked to a few other videos in the description that dive deeper into that same idea of creating warmth through restraint. But once you achieve the kind of balance I'm talking about, there's something else that changes how your home feels the moment you walk in, even if you don't move a single piece of furniture. So watch this next video where you'll see how to take things to the next level and learn how to transform your space from one that looks calm to one that actually feels alive. I'll see you there.